Aloha kakahiaka kako, ovao o Andrea Dias-Machado, no Mauna Loa o Ahu Mayao, noho ao ma Honouliuli, also known as Eva. So mahalo for joining us. I'm Andrea Dias-Machado. I am the owner of Huliau Aloha LLC. And actually, if you can see my background, that background is Maui. So my Kulaiwi, the ancestral homeland of my kupuna is Maui. My ohana Hawaiʻi, the Hawaiian side of my family, comes from Maui. And that this area on my screen is Honopo. So my tutu was born and raised in Honopo. Her name is Dora Kepani U'u Kaleo Gibalens. And we are blessed to have a cemetery that is the Kepani Cemetery in Honopo. So when I'm able to do this work with all of you, it is like coming home. Although I do live on the island of Oahu, my kulaiwi, like I shared, is Maui. So mahalo for this opportunity to share with you some of the work that I'm doing around well-being and the title of my presentation, the Moʻolelo of Wellbeing. So I'm going to pass it over to our moderator to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Stacy Tashima. I'm an occupational therapist at Imua Family Services. Thank you all for joining us. Please give me grace. This is my first time moderating. I am not tech savvy at all, so just be patient with me and enjoy.
Mahalo, Stacy. And yes, Stacy has a really hard job. It's a heavy lift. Doing the tech is not easy. And I just love what Noilani had said earlier in her keynote. Just mahalo for giving us grace. And we're really here to connect with one another, to be present, and to just really feel each other's energy and get to know each other better within this time that we have together. Next slide, please. So we start with these agreements of aloha, and there's a picture of a Maori girl with her father or her grandfather, and they're in the act of hongi, yeah. And so in Hawaiian culture, we call it honi. They are our Polynesian cousins, very very similar customs and traditions that we share. And so I liken what we're doing in this time together as exchanging this energy, exchanging our ha, and creating this sacred space. How do we want to show up in this time together? And so with that, these agreements of aloha and how we want to share our breath with one another. And so these agreements may look very, very, very familiar to you. You know, there's just a collection of agreements that I've been able to gather with the different spaces that I've been blessed to facilitate. So maintaining confidentiality. So whatever we share here stays here. Being present in this space. Again, mahalo for choosing to be a part of my presentation. And we just ask as much as possible, you completely be present in this moment with us. Equity and voice will have some time to exchange our mana'o. And so we just ask that we be mindful that everyone have a chance to share. Listen to understand and not respond. Really about being curious and understanding someone else's perspective that might be different than yours. And to end with, to be kind and demonstrate respect in all behavior and actions. And I don't think any of these agreements will be a problem at all. Just really kind of a reminder to all of us. And this space being what I believe is a ceremonial space as we gather in this way. Are there any agreements that you feel are missing from this list? And if so, if you can please unmute yourself and share that. And I'll ask Stacy if she can add that to the chat. But if we feel good, then we'll move forward. So as was shared by Ekela and by Noilani, the importance of Olelo No'eau in our culture. And so we start with this. All that I will share is really built on the ike of our kupuna. And this Olelo No'eau, o ke kahua mamua mahope ke kukulu. First the foundation and then the building. So all that I've learned and been blessed to learn throughout my huaka'i, my journey of Malamapono, and I really love that it is a journey. There's not a destination, there's not an endpoint. Oh, sorry, thank you. Is really built on the mentors, the kupuna, my ohana, all of the people who have contributed and poured into me, is that I'm able to now share what I've learned and share it in a way that I feel can be helpful to the communities, the organizations, and the people that we collectively serve. And so that foundation, really the root of foundation from a Hawaiian perspective is Mo'olelo. Yeah, so you see these two pictures within this slide. You have Uncle Earl Kava'a passing on his Ike Hohonu, his deep knowledge of culture. And this right here is Papa Ku'iai. It is a poi pounding, making board and stone program that I was blessed. My ohana and I were blessed to participate in. He is passing on his Ike to the Mo'opuna generation that is listening. And then you see the Makua behind him also engaged. And then the photo to the right of that is Kehau Kupihea, who is the kia'i, the alaka'i of Mauliola Ke'ehi on the island of Oahu. So it's also known as Sand Island. So Kehau will be happy that I'm going to perpetuate what she tells everyone who visits is please erase the name Sand Island from your memory and please call it Ke'ehi. Mauliola Ke'ehi is actually the traditional name of this place. So as we look at these photos and we look at the word mo'olelo, most of us know that word to mean story. And it does mean story. But when we break down the two words that are in mo'olelo, mo'o, right? A mo'oku auhau, that is about succession. That is about passing knowledge, passing information from generation to generation. And olelo is that second root word, right? You know, our conversations, olelo Hawaii, the Hawaiian language. And so when we bring those two words together, mo'olelo really are the succession of Hawaiian traditions. Hawaiian culture, Hawaiian language is an oral culture. And so this Ike being passed down from generation to generation for into perpetuity. Mahalo. And now I'm going to share mo'olelo with all of you. And this mo'olelo comes from, and everybody can see me, right? Okay. It's kind of weird because I can't see any of you. So I have to get used to this new Zoom workplace style. So I'm going to share a mo'olelo, and it's been adapted from the book Tales of the Night Rainbow. The Kanaka Maoli, the Hawaiian people, have been here from the beginning. Their beliefs and their way of life are grounded in their relationship to Aina and to all living beings. Kanaka honor and recognize the life force in everything. The Aina is the Kaikua Ana, the older sibling of the Hawaiian people. There is an Olelo No'eao that captures this relationship through the eyes of our kupuna. He ali'i ka aina, he kaua ke kanaka. The land is the chief, and the people its servants. This nohona way of life is also captured in the following mo'olelo. Aloha is being a part of all, and all being a part of me. Where there is pain, it is my pain. Where there is joy, it is mine also. I respect all that is as part of the Creator and as part of me. I will not willfully harm anyone or anything. If food has been taken, I will only take what I need and explain why it is being taken. The earth, the sky, the sea are mine to care for, to cherish, and to protect. This is Hawaiian. This is Aloha. This Moʻolelo also teaches us that we are responsible for our life's conditions. Within each of you is the power to control your destiny. People can influence you to act in certain ways, but no one can make you do anything. You are free to choose. A mo'olelo that teaches us this is called the bowl of perfect light. Each child born has at birth a bowl of perfect light. If he tends to his light, it will grow in strength, and he will be able to know and do all things. Swim with the sharks, fly with the birds, know and understand all things. If, however, he becomes envious or jealous, he puts stones into his bowl and some of the light goes out. Light and stone cannot hold the same space. If he continues to put stones into his bowl, he will become a stone. A stone does not grow, nor does it move. If at any time he tires of being a stone, all he needs to do is turn the bowl upside down. The stones will fall away and the light will grow once more. I'm going to give you a moment to take that mo'olelo in. Think about what resonated with you in that mo'olelo. And this is this beautiful quote of this mo'olelo, of the bowl of light mo'olelo. Every child born has at birth a bowl of perfect light. And that's all of us. Yeah. We all have that from birth. And so now I'm going to share 2 questions for your reflection. And you can write your responses in a notebook or paper that you have with you. So we'll put the first question into the chat box. Mahalo, Stacy. What are your sources of light? How do you malama yourself, right? So the theme of this conference, the journey of malama pono, I just really love that. That's so beautiful. How do you malama yourself? How do you keep your light shining? So just a couple of thoughts, just to get us started. And then we'll share the second question. Acknowledge one challenge you faced and reflect upon how you overcame it. So how have you been able to release the stones in your bowl? Right? It's really important that we acknowledge the challenges that we overface in life because they're real and they happen. And sometimes we know that others or other situations can put stones into our bowl. But how do we let go of that? Oh, mahalo to Tina for sharing in the chat. Letting go of the stones that bring darkness, forgiving those that cast the stones. Oh, mahalo. Mahalo for that. Beautiful mana'o. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a way that we release our stones. Mahalo. So I'll give you a little bit more time to write down your thoughts. And I also would like you to think as we go through what I call our huaka'i, which is journey in Hawaiian. This is a huaka'i that we're on together. So also thinking about these questions and how they might be helpful to the clients that you serve, to the communities that you serve, to the work that you do. But first looking within ourselves, because I do believe that if we're not taking care of ourselves, then it is really challenging to take care of others, right? So first, looking within, and then working our way out into the broader communities that we're a part of. This umeke is you, right? It represents you. And when we harness the light within us and we're able to release the stones that come into our umeke, that contributes to our own well-being. And so the goal of today's session is to connect you to your own mo'olelo, because we all have stories. We all come from places, so that you're able to build and strengthen a more intentional connection with the places, people, ohana, and communities that you serve. So just take a moment to think about that. I'm going to put my umeke in its place on the side of me. And if at any time you have questions, please feel free to unmute yourself. You can write it in the chat. So we just want this to be, a flow. I was also very fortunate. We recently lost Auntie Puanani Burgess, who some of you may know. A hulu kupuna, someone very prized in our community. She's done so much work to bridge understanding and to advocate for Aina, for the protection of Aina, and bring people together that have very different perspectives on an issue. And I was very, very fortunate to be a part of a community of practice that she facilitated called Building the Beloved Community. And something that she taught us was, right, and again, connecting it back, that I now have the privilege to share what I've learned. She taught us about the importance of sharing the story of your name. And she would say just the most profound things in our sessions that were all like this over Zoom. And she told us, what does it mean to come to a table with just your name? Wow, that's like a Ike bomb right there, right? So yeah, just take a moment to take that in. And in a little bit, you are going to be sharing the story of your name with a group of friends. So I'm going to put into the chat some instructions for everyone. So the first is, you're going to share a story about one of your names. You can choose which one. Yes. Oh, aloha, Carol. Nice to see you on here. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, sharing a story about one of your names, first name, middle name, or last name. Yeah, whatever name you choose. And some questions to think about as you think about which mo'olelo you want to share. How was your name chosen? I'll just put them a bunch into the chat. So these are just questions to kind of prompt from some exploration within you as you craft this. Were you named after someone? Does it have any cultural or historical meaning? Would you like to share a story or experience? Yeah, so just some things to think about. Oh, sorry. I did not copy the whole question for the last one. So it's actually supposed to be, would you like to share a story or experience related to your name? Any questions so far? Okay.
And also, if you guys want
Yes.
to screenshot or take a picture of these questions, the Zoom platform, the new Zoom platform, I'm not quite sure how to put the questions into the break room. So if you guys don't mind doing that, that would be very helpful.
So we'll give you some, I'm gonna play a mele, I'm gonna play a song. And so that's gonna be some personal thinking and writing time for you before you get into your Zoom rooms. And when you're in the room, I'll also put these instructions that, yes, if you can please screenshot this, that would be great. Each person will have 2 minutes to share. And if you may please assign one person to kind of serve as the timer, and then one person to serve as a note taker. And so for the note taker, if there is time, the focus of this activity is really about you sharing your story. But I'm going to ask the note taker, and for all of you to have a discussion in your groups. What themes emerge from sharing your name stories? Yeah. So to kind of think about this, and again, also thinking about how these activities may be useful and impactful with the groups that you work with and the communities that you serve. So kind of looking at it first from within, and then how this can translate into the work that you do. So mahalo. Okay, so we're going to give you some private sync time, and I'm going to play a song. Hopefully you can hear it. These are one of the other things that we're learning about this new workplace, but yes.
Hey, so are we ready to break out? I think I have the rooms ready.
We're gonna give them private time to write. Okay. So I forgot to share 2 slides. So quickly, I'll share those, and then Stacy will put you into breakout rooms. So when we the first mo'olelo that you'll share is mo'oekahi, so your inoa, right? In introducing yourself in Olelo Hawaii, you would say oi, yeah, who are you, right? And the vai connecting to the waters, like where you come from. It is connecting who you are to your aina and to the natural resources of the place that you come from, right? So important to, that is the way we in Hawaii, our names, where we come from, that is the way we connect with one another. So mo'oekahi being inoa is what we're going to be doing. And from a broader perspective and always connecting back to aina, we can go to the next slide. We first look at our origin stories of place. So the two main origin stories of Hawaii, which help us to understand how Hawaii came to be, our creation stories are the Kumulipo and the story of Haloa, right? So thinking about those creation stories and those origin stories, we then transition to what are your origin stories, and starting with the story of your name. So with that, we will put you into breakout rooms for about 12 minutes. So 2 minutes per person. We have asked for you to assign a timekeeper and a note taker to get through your names and share your names. And then if there's time to come up with themes about what themes you see emerging from the stories of your inoa. Okay, so we will see you in a little bit. Enjoy yourselves. Aloha. Aloha, welcome back. Well, I'm sure you guys had just wonderful conversations and sharing your name stories. And I'm going to put the last question back into the chat around what themes emerge from sharing your name stories. So hopefully you had some time to talk about that in your groups. And I'm going to ask if the note takers from each group could drop a response to that question into the chat, and then I'll read them out loud. Any questions? So whenever you're ready, we can just drop it into the chat, or if you want to just unmute yourself, you can do that too. Whatever works better for you. Mahalo, Tina. Strong connection to family. And Daisha, am I saying your name correctly? Okay, awesome. Our names all had some kind of tie to heaven. Wow. Wow. Beautiful. Heidi, all had names, middle names that we culturally ethnic based, Hawaiian, Japanese, connecting back to your culture, connecting back to your roots. Beautiful. A common theme was our family ancestors coming to Hawaii for a better life. Wow, that's a powerful mo'olelo. Yeah, and being able to capture that in your name stays with your family forever. Aurora says, in our group, we saw the theme of being named after the elements, the land, the sea. Beautiful. And Shelley writes, names were given with aloha and intention. Mahalo. Mahalo, mahalo for sharing the stories of your names. That's beautiful. And thinking about how, right, thinking to yourself how you might also do this with the clients that you serve. Yeah. How this can be a tool in their journey of malamapono and what that looks like. Mahalo. Okay. We're gonna go to the next slide. So the second mo'olelo, that we will share with one another. Or actually, we won't, unfortunately, won't have time to share it with one another. But that we'll create together is about the place that you come from. So if you look at the pictures in this slide, they're all different places. You might recognize them, but they're really thinking about Aina, right? And the connection to Aina, thinking about who you are and where you come from. I'm going to share a poem that's called I Come From a Place. And this is also a poem that was shared by Auntie Puanani Burgess within our community of practice. And so it's called I Come From a Place by Ho'oipo DeCambra. I come from a place where pale golden fields and sharp mountains surround a halau. A halau crying to be recreated for Po'e Hawaii. I come from a place where menehune trails are silhouetted against the horizon's colors of blue, green, and silvery gray. I come from a place where black lava rocks, melted together over time, embrace the coastline, while ehu-colored limu cling to the deepest recesses, close to the ocean's bosom. I come from a place where people love old cars. They like fixing them and making them well, and the challenge of getting to town and back just one more time. I come from a place where people are satisfied with the bare minimum income and living conditions. I come from a place where Puanani dreams mouse poems and a kukui nut leaf mirrors her beauty. And Diane remembers seeing Lono calling the rain, and Robbie is willing to say, Kaneaki Heao is our sacred site. I come from a place where Dr. Fred Dodge dreams and works for Makua to be given back to the Po'e Hawaii, and Isabel swims in front of Rest Camp and dreams of a soon-to-be the greatest marine science school for our kids. I come from a place where it is dark, and Kamaka teaches us about the light in the heavens, and dolphins dance on water for your birthday. And Ho'oipo DeCambra wrote this April 1986. Who knows what place is being described in this poem, and you can unmute yourself if you want to share. So it's Waianae. Waianae is the place that Ho'oipo DeCambra is describing. So you're going to create a haiku about the place that you come from. And so I am sharing my haiku. I come from Mauna Lua, also known as Hawaii Kai on the east side of Oahu. I always share the mo'olelo that I didn't learn the traditional name of the place I was born and raised until I was in my 30s. And so the importance of reclaiming our traditional names, because within the names are mo'olelo, within the names tell you how to manage the lands of these places. And our names really are the lifelines to who we are and where we come from. So I will share mine. I come from a place, Mauna Lua. Va'a danced on Kai, Hanauma, the kipuka of my sacred youth. I come from a place, Mauna Lua. Okay, so that's my place that I come from, and definitely has influenced me in many ways. I spent a lot of time paddling as a young person. I spent a lot of time at Hanauma Bay. My uncle was a lifeguard there, so we would go there often. So I spent a lot of time in the ocean and continue to spend a lot of time there. And it is rooted in the place that I was born and raised and the traditions and practices of our ohana continue to guide me as a mom and till today. So bringing that into my life today. So now you are going to have an opportunity to create a haiku. So these are the things to think about. Yeah. Different sensory descriptions, just as Auntie Ho'oipo described in her poem, right? It really came to life. Yeah, her poem really came to life for you. So in thinking about what do you see? What do you hear? How does it feel? So we all process differently. We all process differently, and we want to I want you just to get ideas on your paper. And so, yes, ideas on your paper. Don't worry so much about the haiku part. That can come later. Sometimes, people, I don't want you to think more about the syllable part of it, but just more the description about the place that you come from. Are there any questions?
Any other guidelines you can help us with?
Um,
This is not a strength of mine, so.
no, no. We all, and if you'd rather draw a picture, that's cool too. Yeah. However you best express, whatever is the best way for you to express the place that you come from, then go with that. Yes. If you want to just like maybe start with like writing a paragraph out about the place you come from, that's great too. Whatever works for you. Mahalo for asking. Or like a memory you have of a place that you grew up. Everyone is talented enough to do this. We all have our strengths. So that's not true. It's yes, everybody has strengths. But yes, just maybe we'll just start with you writing a description about where you come from or a memory that you have about where you come from. Okay, but my hila hila and my hila hila mean like no worries, there's no shame at all. Like we're just learning and growing together. So however you best express the place that you come from, then go on that path. And it's gonna be great. I promise. It is. Okay. So we're gonna take about 5 minutes and we're gonna listen to a mele called Paukukalo, which is right on Maui. So as you describe the place that you come from, we can listen to this beautiful mele by Kamale Kava'a, who was on The Voice, right? So yeah, we can listen to his mele as you compose your haiku, your phrase, your drawing, whatever you choose to do. Mahalo. Okay, we're back. We're almost to the end of our time together. And I did want to just really mahalo all of you for, again, choosing to be a part of my presentation on Moʻolelo of Wellbeing. I hope that this was helpful for you in connecting to your stories and to connecting with one another and finding these common themes amongst the group that you got to talk story with, and hopefully that this can translate into the work that you're doing in supporting our communities and helping folks, families to rediscover their stories and the power of story for healing, for a journey of Malamopono. So if you are interested in learning more about the work of Huliau Aloha and the work that I'm very blessed to do, I'm going to put my program flyer into the chat. If you want to stay connected, I would love to continue to connect with you. So this session is kind of a foundation to kind of look into the different kinds of programs that I offer around connecting to people, to place, and community that is called Pili Aina. So yeah, let me know if you would like to stay connected. I think we actually do have a little bit more time. I'd like to take us all the way to 11:05. I would like to ask folks to put into the chat or to unmute yourself if you're willing to share how you think these types of activities can support the work that you're doing within the community. So I invite you to unmute yourself, to share if you would rather share over chat, whatever feels right for you. Would love to hear your mana'o.
I just wanted to say I appreciated you looking not only like different modalities of how we can share, like through poetry, through art, through mo'olelo. There's just so many other ways we can share who we are, our stories, beyond, our normal ways. And so it kind of pushes us to do it in different ways. So mahalo.
Oh, mahalo. Mahalo for that.
I also wanted to mahalo you for just giving us the opportunities to get grounded.
Mahalo, Carol. I'm blessed. I get to see Carol tomorrow on Maui. Mahalo. Thank you. Okay, we have in the chat from Sarah, when we are connected and share space, it helps our clients because we are more whole ourselves. Oh, so true. So true. Mahalo. Tina, this helps us to look within. Are there too many stones? Do I need more light to make sure I have enough light to be truly helpful? Mahalo for that insight. It is. I wanna share that I feel very blessed to have my own business and to come to my work with my full and authentic self. That's not always how I was able to come. But now being able to be who we are, it does. Being vulnerable with your clients, for them to see you as humans, as you shared, it goes so far. And as we are healers, we are healing. Yeah. Being healers and healing is the journey of Malamopono. It's always a reflection back to who we are and our own healing process. Mahalo. Mahalo for the connection to the Mo'olelo. I will be uploading my PowerPoint, the poem, the Mo'olelo that I shared is adapted from the Tales of the Night Rainbow. If you know that mo'olelo, it's a beautiful mo'olelo. I've been blessed to share this mo'olelo in many different contexts. I spent a number of years working with youth, working with at-risk youth, youth that really needed folks to believe in them and provide them with access to opportunity. And so something else that Auntie Puanani Burgess shared with us is that to create and design experiences as ceremony. And the bowl of light is a ceremony that we're able to partake in. So I encourage you to look into that mo'olelo if you choose to and see how you might be able to utilize that in the work you do. Thank you so much for all the aloha, mahalo nui for all the beautiful messages that you've shared. I have been so blessed to be a part of this time with you. We do want to get you out on time. So in closing, in ceremonial fashion, the way Hau'oli Akaka opened us up with Vehena, with our protocol this morning, and Ekela took us into more protocol, and then with Noelani Ahia sharing her keynote. We're going to Panina. We're going to close this activity with one another with a mahalo circle. And so I ask that as you leave this space and go on to your next space, I hope that that you're able to contribute more light into yourself, into your umeke, who you are, and continue to find the safe spaces that you need for yourself to be connected, so that you can do the healing work that you do for so many. I know that I am in a space with healers that do very, very hard work. So mahalo nui for all that you carry, and you owamo, you lift up for all of our communities. I can't say mahalo enough. So in closing, we're gonna do a mahalo circle. So I ask if you can put in the chat a word or a phrase that captures your gratitude in this moment. And with that, I say malama pono, ahui ho, until we meet again. And mahalo nui for being a part of Moʻolelo of Wellbeing, and enjoy the rest of your conference. Ahui ho.